Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Welcome back to Harry's Highlights. On this video, we're going to talk about the book The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John C. Maxwell. Now, this is a compilation of all the individual laws required to be an effective and efficient leader. Now, these 21 laws are irrefutable. That means that you can't really object to them. They are needed, they're necessary and required to be an effective leader. So each video, we want to focus on a specific law individually. Today's video we're going to focus on is law number 20, law of explosive growth. Now, law of explosive growth says, to add growth, lead followers. To multiply, lead leaders. Now, what does this mean? It means understanding that, like, if you're just adding one by one, one person to your team, your organization, your group, your business, you'll grow. It'll grow ever so slowly because one by one it'll keep growing through compounding effect. It'll slowly, start to increase. But if you multiply, you lead leaders, because now you're leading a leader who's also leading people they influence, and then that leader also leads another leader who's also leading other people they influence. So all of a sudden, you get explosive growth. You start to get things happening at lightning speed because you're leading all the leaders who are leading all the people they influence, as well as other leaders who are leading the people they influence, and you get this spider web of just this huge honeycomb of all these different leaders leading other people they follow, all under the one roof. Now, becoming a leader who develops leaders requires an entirely different focus and attitude from simply attracting and leading followers. Because when you're leading followers, they look to you for leadership. They look to you to just say, like, okay, what should we do next? And they do it. When you change your focus and attitude to leading leaders, it becomes about passing on knowledge. It becomes passing on not just teaching a person, not just giving a person a fish, but teaching them how to fish. It's a very different mindset because now you're teaching things for long-lasting, continual growth, not just immediate effect. It's like long-term gratification versus immediate gratification. Because you don't want to just solve the problem then and there. You want to solve the problem continually. You want to, like, the difference between, basically putting a band-aid on something and curing the disease. It's about doing things for the future. So, with that different mindset, you've got to understand that the way you look at everything, the way you teach things, the way you speak about things, the way you communicate, that requires more of an explanation rather than just a direction or an instruction. It's about understanding the reason why, not just the what. With a follower, they just want to know, what is it that they need to do next? With a leader, they want to know, why is it they need to do that next? Why did it come to that conclusion? Why is it not a better way? Why is this the way that you're describing for the situation? Why should I not do this? That's very different, and that requires you to have, a different mindset, different attitude, different focus, because everything is delivered differently. Now, leaders who attract followers basically need to be needed. They focus on the fact that these followers need them, so that's why they just keep attracting followers. So they always feel like they're always in a position of need. There's always in a position where somebody needs, like, oh, hey, Harry, please, help me out. I've got this problem. Oh, let me just fix it for you. Harry, please, I've got this, this has happened. Don't worry, I'll take care of it. When you've got leaders who develop leaders, you want to be succeeded. Now, this is where you're understanding that you're training the next person to take over you, or the multiple people that will potentially take over you. So, leaders who attract followers need to be needed. Leaders who develop leaders want to be succeeded. So, it's about understanding that you're preparing and grooming someone for your position now, for someone else to take over. It takes a lot of security. It takes a lot of, I've spoke about it in other laws, they're understanding that you're now giving other people the opportunity to have the same skills and ideally have better skills than what you currently have now. But that's when you develop leaders. That's what you're trying to do. We'll talk about this in another law later on, but basically what you leave behind. Now, leaders often feel a tension between where they and their people are and where they ought to be. So this can be kind of frustrating in some ways because the leader will always want to feel like we should be here. This is where we need to be. This is where I want to be. This is the ideal spot for us. Me and my people are here. And it's like, I need to get them there fast. If we're just there, then we could start focusing on all this stuff over here. But we're not here, we're here, and we're having to focus on all this distance here. So it can be a little bit frustrating. You know, sometimes as leaders they might feel impatient, they might feel just like, well, if everyone just did this, we could get there. But if you're leading followers, they're waiting on your instruction. They're not necessarily going to take initiative. You know, they're more waiting to understand what the next step is. And they're only going to take one step at a time. When you're developing leaders, they're going to take initiative. They're going to take, 2, 3, 4 steps at a time. You know, they're going to look at the bigger picture. They're going to understand, well, after I do that, we're going to need to do that. So I might as well just do that now. I'll ask the question, hey, after I do this one, should I do that as well? Because that would be the next most logical step. That's the difference between leading leaders and leading followers. And that is where you can start to bridge that gap a lot faster. Because not everything is relying on you. It's relying on the other leaders in the team. So there's a great understanding of it all. A great way to explain the law of explosive growth. That, for example, if you develop yourself, you can experience personal success. If you develop a team, your organization can experience growth. If you develop leaders, your organization can achieve explosive growth. See, because developing yourself is all about where you are, what you're getting to. Developing the team is to do a lot of the people, the followers, and just above the followers, the producers. You know, the ones that might do a little bit more, but still aren't ready to lead the others. They might just be a little bit more proactive with certain things. But your organization, team, group, business, whatever it may be, will experience growth. But if you develop leaders, your organization, team, group, business, they'll achieve explosive growth because you taught the leaders, not only how to solve that problem, but how to continually solve those problems. And that is then how you're able to duplicate yourself. You're able to duplicate yourself in multiple. You can basically be in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 places at once. Because these leaders would know, well, Harry taught me in this situation I should do this. Based on this situation here, which is quite similar, it makes more sense for me to do the exact same thing again. And that's how you can experience explosive growth. So lots of people get into leadership for different reasons. Some might have shallow reasons because they might like the idea of that, well, as a leader, I'm important. When I speak, people listen. And I can always delegate problems and I can delegate any tasks I don't wish to do because people follow me, they'll just listen. But that's shallow reasons. That's not a good leader. That's an insecure leader. That's someone that's looking to fill in certain gaps or weaknesses that they have with their character. Good leaders lead for the sake of their followers. They lead because of what they want to leave behind after their time of leadership is completed. They want to know that, with a finite amount of time that I have here, what impact can I create and what long-lasting legacy can I leave behind that other people want to follow on and continue my work that I've been trying to produce here and will want to be as invested in the followers, if not more than what I already am. So understanding that one, there's two different types of leaders. The leaders who attract followers will develop the bottom 20% because they'll always be looking for the bottom 20%, the ones that have the most problems. They're the ones that are going to make you feel most needed. But the leaders who develop leaders develop the top 20% because these are people that they want to understand, I don't have to keep coming back to the leader to solve similar problems. I want to know, how do I fix this problem now and fix future problems that will most likely and inevitably come up. They're the top 20%. And they're the ones that will then eventually come on to become leaders. Because a leader that develops leaders understands if they develop the best will help the rest. And that is where then you can prioritize based on a lot of priorities. You can solve multiple problems and situations at once. Because you've not only solved the problem, you've also developed that leader a little bit more. So future problems will also be taken care of, allowing you to then focus and prioritize elsewhere. Excuse me. Now, leaders who attract followers will only focus on weaknesses. Leaders who develop leaders will focus on strengths. Because when you focus on the weaknesses, it's all about fix this, fix this, fix this. When you're developing leaders, it's like, here's what you're good at. Let's focus on that and develop you to be the strongest leader you can in this area. And then with that, they'll have the confidence then to fix other weaknesses. Leaders who attract followers treat everyone the same. But leaders that develop leaders treat everyone individually. Because instead of just casting a wide net and just categorizing everyone into this one, when you treat them individually, you can then work out, like, so your strengths and your strengths are completely opposite. Your weaknesses are that person's strengths. Your strengths are that person's weaknesses. But if you cast a big net across both of them and then just say, this is how this should be done, you can see how, like, one person will be feeling like, yep, I can do this, and one person will be feeling like, nope, this is not for me. And that's the difference between the two types of leaders. Leaders that attract followers spend time with others. Leaders who develop leaders invest time with others. Because there's a real difference with, like, productive time spending and just casual time spending. You know, if you're just spending time there, you know, how's your day stuff going? It's great, and all that. The person feels, you feel needed, that person feels heard, and that's great. But if you lack that ability to invest in them, to help them grow, all you've done is maintained. Now, leaders who attract followers grow by addition, because it's a one-by-one sort of solution. Leaders who develop leaders grow by multiplication, because now you're duplicating yourself. So understanding the different types of leaders understands, like, depending on what type of leader you are, will show in the organization, the group, the team, the business that you have. So when you understand that growing your organization by teams instead of individuals is how you experience explosive growth, if that's what you're looking for, that's then how you can then, things will become easier because you'll have more hands that are able and skilled to help you. But when you have leaders that attract followers, they impact only the people that they touch. There's no duplication. It's all based on me and that person, me and that person, me and that person. You have 100 people, that's a lot of time, and you'll be failing the law of priorities. But leaders who develop leaders impact beyond their reach. Because now I work with the leaders who then work with the people they influence, and all of a sudden there's all these extra people there that I wouldn't have had the enough time or hours in the day to speak to and spend time with and invest in. But these leaders can, and now far further than what I could reach, these people are being looked after. So it explains the different types of leaders, and that is how you understand the law of explosive growth. To add growth, just lead the followers, but to multiply, lead the leaders. That is the law of explosive growth. Now I'm making a lot more of these videos for this training series to help you with your personal development goals. That's all for now though. So until next time, leave a comment below on what you like the most, and look forward to sharing more with you in the next episode of Harry's Highlights.